The most devastating mistakes that most investors and most traders make is that they try to trade and invest and they don't have a plan. Now, too many people jump into the stock market as a way to get rich quick. Now, I'm all for getting rich quickly, but you just can't do it without some sort of plan, beloved. And the best one to use, my personal favorite, in fact, is something known as rules-based trading. Please write that down. Rules-based trading. Now, this is basically trading your trade and trading your plan no matter what the headlines are saying or the markets are doing. You've got a clear set of rules that you're going to stick to. You're not trading on emotion, which is, by the way, the fastest way to lose all of your money. And you're not just guessing and hoping for your trades to work out. No, that method isn't something you can quantify or backtest. It's really not a method at all. Just think about it, if you will. You would never buy a house or a car without knowing exactly what you want, how much you're willing to pay, and when you want to pay it off. So why, pray tell, would you ever put your hard-earned money into the markets without knowing exactly what you want, how much you're willing to pay, and when you want to get PAID? Now, don't get me wrong. I love investing in buying stocks and options, okay? And I like short-term and long-term strategies. I like to utilize them both. But buying and holding stocks for a long term means you're willing to sit through the bullish and bearish cycles for the biggest returns down the line. It also means you're primarily focused on a company's revenue and earnings. We're talking about fundamental analysis here, instead of patterns and the market data such as price and volume, which is technical analysis. Now, earnings and revenue can be very, very tricky. Okay, and that's to put it mildly. And it can take years to work out for your portfolio. For instance, take Amazon.com. Anyone who bought the stock during its initial public offering, okay, has turned a $1,000 investment into $638,000 today, 20 years later. However, remember, the stock also, talking about that Amazon, also dropped nearly 90% in 2000, which caused a lot of investors to sell their shares. But there's much, much better. There's a much, much more profitable way to be wealthy, blow past rich, and become wealthy. And that is options trading. Now listen to me closely. You see, with options, you basically rent stocks for much less than you would have to if you were to buy them outright. And instead of paying up to thousands of dollars for a single share, you get to control 100 shares at a time for a fraction of that amount. You see, options also reduce your risk, giving you leverage in the markets and delivering profits much, much faster. You're talking about days, weeks, or months to make money, not 2 decades or more. Furthermore, it doesn't matter if the markets make record highs, record lows, or don't move at all. There's a safe and easy way to profit no matter what. As we say in the Wealth Institute, bull bear, we don't care. So why would you ever waste thousands of dollars buying single shares of stock to hold them in the short term with the little chance of recouping that money, when you can double or triple your money for a quarter of what you pay to buy the stock outright? Now, you can think of these, quote, all or none, quote, investors like the folks who spend all day and night in casinos. They start out with the smaller bets at first, but then believe they found the secret and push in all their chips for that one big win. But 10 seconds later, they're sulking away from the table with their tails between their legs because they just lost everything they had. You see, investors do this as well. They do it a lot. And it is indeed a tragedy. I see it all the time. So why would you ever put your hard-earned money into the markets without knowing exactly what you want, how much you're willing to pay, and when you want to get PAID? You see, people suffer a few small losses and then feel as though the markets, quote, owe them, end quote, for those losses. So they put all of their money on that one trade they think will give it all back to them at one time. This is called trading on emotion and without a plan, which I spoke of just a few moments earlier. And unless it's your lucky day, you're looking at losing all of your money on one single trade. Now, people, please remember, it's not about today. It's not about tomorrow or next week or next month. It's about building long-term wealth without emotion. So don't bet the farm on one trade ever. Don't you ever do that. Use rules like the ones we follow here at the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute. It's your money and you worked hard for it. It's precious. Manage and be a good steward of your capital like your life depended on it. Because depending upon how you look at it, it truly does. Take measured positions according to your trading plan and consider risking no more than between 2% and 5% of your account on any single trade. I said, consider risking no more than between 2% and 5% of your account per trade. And Wealth Institute family members, as I often remind you, never, ever, ever let your risk be equal to or exceed your exposure.
Ain't that bad. Dancing a funky chicken, eating ribs and tips, digging all the latest sound, drinking gin and sips. Now ain't that bad, ain't that black, ain't that black, and ain't that bad, ain't that bad, and ain't that black, and ain't that fine. Putting down that do-rag, tightening up my fro, wrapping up in blackness, and don't I shine and glow, and ain't that bad, and ain't that black, 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 and ain't that fine. Hearing Stevie Wonder, eating beans and rice, going to the opera, checking out Linton Price, get down Jesse Jackson, dance on Alan Ailey, talk Miss Barbara Jordan, and groove Miss Pearlie Bailey, and ain't they bad, and ain't they black, and ain't they bad, and ain't they black, and ain't they fine. Black like the hour of the night, when your love turns and wriggles close to your side. Black is the earth which has given birth to nations, and when all else is gone, will abide. Bad as the storm that leaps raging from the heavens, bringing the welcome rain. Bad as the sun burning orange hot at midday, lifting the waters again. Ain't that bad, ain't that black, ain't that black, and ain't that bad, ain't that bad, and ain't that black, and ain't that fine. Ain't that bad, ain't that black, ain't that black, and ain't that bad, ain't that bad, and ain't that black, and ain't that fine. Arthur Ashe was on the tennis court, Ali was in the ring, Andre Watson, Andrew Young, black men doing the thing. Ain't they bad, and ain't they black, and ain't they bad, and ain't they black, and ain't they fine. Dressing in pearls and pinks and greens, exotic as rum and oats, living our lives with flash and style. Ain't we colorful, folks? We bad, and ain't we black, and ain't we black, and ain't we bad, and ain't we bad, ain't we black, and ain't we fine. Ain't that bad, ain't that black, ain't that black, and ain't that bad, ain't that bad, and ain't that black, and ain't that fine. Ain't that bad, ain't that black, ain't that black, and ain't that bad, ain't that bad, and ain't that black, and ain't that fine. Ain't that bad, ain't that black, ain't that black, and ain't that bad, ain't that bad, and ain't that black, and ain't that fine. Ain't that bad, ain't that black, ain't that black, and ain't that bad, ain't that bad, and ain't that black, and ain't that fine.
Queen Ancestor, Angelo Milo.